Hey everybody, this is Olga with AskYourself.org, and this video will hopefully help you to get unstuck if you feel like, for whatever reason in life, you're just feeling stuck. A feeling all too familiar to me personally. I can definitely relate. So hopefully we'll get some messages for you today that will help you get out of that state of being and into where you need to be in order to live a beautiful and fulfilling life that you deserve. So I'll be using these three decks today, and all the links are, of course, below the video. And I'm going to shuffle them right now, and we'll see what happens. Okay, dokes, I'm back, and we have these three cool little piles. And also include the link to these beautiful angels below, because they're so awesome, I just love them. So again, as you usually would, just see which one of these feels right to you right now. This is going to be pile number 1, pile number 2, and pile number 3. So if you're intuitively leaning towards one of these, go with that. And I'm going to include the timestamps below as well, so you can go straight to your pile. But yeah, without further ado, let's do this. So pile number 1, here we go. This one is made of quartz, by the way, and I love quartz. Okay, so let's see what we got here. And I'm actually going to read this one last. Wow, so I'm definitely seeing with these ones that you are feeling stuck right now. And I think that a lot of it has to do with your base chakra or your root chakra. Meaning there could be a lot of physical issues, like something to do with your health, or just the fact that you don't have enough money to start something that you would like, and just not feeling safe enough to actually start anything new. And also just feeling like you're in this alone, maybe. But look, the amazing thing is, like all of these cards, this one says new beginnings. This one says moving on. This one says break the chain, ancestral patterns, healing, rewrite the future. And honestly, what I'm getting for you is that, first of all, you shouldn't be afraid to trust other people with this idea or whatever it is that you have in mind. And don't be afraid to reach out to others for support. Don't be afraid to ask others for support, whatever you need. Because I'm sure there's someone in your life who's going to be able to help and who's going to be there for you and who wants to be there for you. And maybe you don't even know it because you just haven't shared your ideas yet. Another thing is, there's something that only you know. There's something deep within you that only you know and that only you can make happen. So I think more than anything, this is about you trusting that you can have love in your life again. Because it just seems like it's really hard for you to move on from whatever situation you're in right now. But it's also totally necessary. You know, like the universe is literally waiting for you to move on from it and to see this whole new world that will open up when you do. So I feel like this message more than anything is about you kind of breaking your old patterns and not letting things that would usually stop you from going forward, not let them have this power again on you. It's also about you believing that you deserve love and you will have love again, and there is this beautiful promise of love, you know, if you do dare to go with what your heart desires. And I don't know, I feel like more than anything, it's like the physical issues that are, or like the physical issues that are holding you back, and things like earthly issues and things that are related to your survival and just feeling like you can do something in the world, like you have a choice, you know? And of course you're getting this message that you do have a choice, you are very much encouraged to move on, you're very much encouraged to start something new. And when you do start something new, you would have to go towards it, not with a lot of expectations and how the way things should be in your mind, but just kind of innocently trying things out. There's only one way, just trying it out and seeing if it works or if it doesn't. But I feel like you do have a lot of knowledge and skill and everything you need in order to move forward. You're like, at this point, it's more than anything you not being sure enough in yourself and not asking anybody for help. So you're just kind of feeling alone in this, and that's what makes it even worse. So you're just feeling stuck, and you feel like there's no one who could like pull you out of this, but it's not true. And you are being encouraged to reach out to others. You are being encouraged to share with others about what you need. And, depending on what your situation is, I'm sure there's someone who will be able to help and help you like get unstuck and move to this next phase of your life. And as scary as that might feel right now, sooner or later it's gonna have to happen, because we can't, you can't stop life, right? It's just, you either progress or you get stuck. And so for you not to get stuck, please remember that you're not alone in this. Please remember that there's always someone who could help you, not only in the physical world, of course. There's always your guides, there's always your angels who are there listening to you and wanting to help you, but they need your permission, very clear permission that, hey, I would like for you to help me with this and this and that. And then this one makes me think of like being the first generation college student in your family, and it's asking you, break the chain, rewrite the future. It's asking you to not let all of that past hurt and past problems, past situations that were difficult and hard to forgive and let go, don't let them hold you back from moving on, because they are holding you back. And it's like, at this point, you can rewrite your history. At this point, you have a lot of power to move on, and you don't have to look back and think like, well, it didn't work out for my other family members, or it didn't work out for me when I tried this and this and that, so like, why would I even continue? No, that's the whole point. You do have to continue. You have to find this courage within yourself to really try out different things. If like one of them doesn't work out, something else will, inevitably. And the more you try, the more you learn, regardless of what it is, basically. Yeah, so let's also see our last card, and it says self-sufficiency. The ultimate self-sufficiency is relying on God. It doesn't mean hiding in a cave and saying, I don't need people. Instead, it's saying, God is my source, and I am willing to receive all the help, love, and support that wants to come. That's what I mean. So, and this was the first card also, which is funny because, you see, it's the first and the last card. It's basically saying the same thing. It's about you not being afraid to ask for help. And it's about you being open to this support and being open to this love, and making yourself feel comfortable enough to reach out to other people who might be able to help. And when you do let people help you, you are going to start moving forward. You are going to inevitably get more opportunities to do something new, and it's not going to feel as scary anymore, because you always have this help on your side. Whether it's physically with people or spiritually with your guides and angels. And again, I just want to reiterate that you do know a lot, and you have what you need to have in order to make this new step. Don't think that you don't. I feel like this is basically one card. Look at this. It's really cool. This is like her stepping out, or him. No, I think that's her. Stepping out into this new world, and this is her coming through, like towards this new world. And yes, it's scary, and yes, you don't know what to expect, but that's kind of the beauty of it. And it's asking you to make that step, trusting that you have what it takes to make it. And also don't forget that everything you do, every action that you take, it's not empty. It's always leading to something else. It's always leading you somewhere. You reap what you sow. And that's why it's so important to put in as much action as you possibly can in order for things to start progressing. Even if you don't feel like it, even if you feel like it's pointless, just doing something, no matter how small, and in your case, maybe starting with asking for help from other people, that's huge already. That's infinitely better than not doing anything, okay? So I definitely encourage you to reach out. I encourage you to believe in yourself and to know that you have what it takes to make this next step, whatever it may be, and not be afraid to ask for help, whether it's from people or from God and angels and all the spiritual beings that you're surrounded with. If you'd like a more personal reading, definitely reach out to me via askyoursoul.org. If you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe. It would mean the world to me. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. I'm gonna be moving on to pile number 2 now. And you guys have an awesome day or night. Okay, that's pile number 2 with this adorable green angel. And I'll read this one last as per usual. But let's see what we got. Okay, so I'm kind of, I don't know why, but I'm getting this like conflicting message. But I feel like the biggest reason why you're stuck is because there is someone in your life, most likely a partner, who has a very different vision about what you should be doing and what your life should look like than you do. And so you end up, in order to preserve this relationship, in order for it to keep being, comfortable and good and positive, you're willing to quote unquote suffer in silence and to not let this part of you out, the part of you who wants to like move on and progress and do something different. You're like in this constant state of waiting. You're waiting for it to be safe to like come out. You're waiting for it to be safe to take the next step. You're waiting for it to be safe to share this with your partner or whoever this person is that like has so much influence on you. Maybe even your parents. You're just waiting for something to change in order for you to become who you are meant to be, basically. Some of it has to do with your financial situation, and maybe you're afraid that something will change financially if you do take the next step. But another thing is you're kind of afraid of failure. You're afraid that if you do take this next step, nothing's going to happen and you're just going to end up failing miserably. And what's the point of even trying and like making things uncomfortable for yourself or anybody else if you don't think that this is going to work out? But I hope you realize that no matter how you look at the situation, there still needs to be a way for you to express yourself. There still needs to be a way for you to step out of this discomfort and take this next step, whatever it is. And I feel like you're being reminded that the universe is watching out for you. The universe really wants you to move on. And it might not be about moving on from this relationship necessarily, but it does look like you definitely need to set some boundaries. Because, like with this one, it literally says boundaries. Where do you need to establish better boundaries? Think about that. Where do you need to establish better boundaries in your life? And when you feel like too many people want too many things from you, and then you don't have enough time to do something that you actually want because of that, because you're just so nice and you want to help everybody, now is the time to really reevaluate what needs to be done for you. What do you have time for? What do you have energy for? Because as awesome as that is, that you are like so open to helping others, you really need to look out for yourself, because if you don't, who else will, And it just seems like there is so much uncertainty. There's like this fear that's holding you back, and it's not letting you take this next step. But the longer you wait, ironically, the bigger of a problem this becomes in your life. The more you avoid something, the more prominent it is in our lives, because we keep thinking about it and obsessing about it and wondering what's next, and then just going through this like roller coaster of emotion. But it's really more than anything believing that you can do it, believing that the universe has your back, and even if you don't know how the heck it's gonna work out, don't forget that there's like all kinds of crazy synchronicities happening every second, literally. And that's what life is about. It's just, you never know. You don't think that you can control everything. Maybe you do need to step out of this comfort zone right now in order to create something amazing and beautiful and something that people will enjoy and need and want. But for you to do that, you have to first step out of your own fear and confront this person, whoever that may be, or people, and let them know that, like, hey, this is my priority. This is super important to me, and I'm gonna do my best, even if this is scary, even if you're not sure what's gonna happen financially. I'm gonna have to try this out. There's no other way to find out. And please try not to focus on everything that could go wrong, on thinking that you're gonna fail, thinking that it's not even worth trying. I strongly, strongly believe that you would not have this urge, you would not have these ideas if you didn't also have what it takes to do something about them, okay? So trust that feeling and trust that, seriously, you're not alone. The universe is always looking out for you. It's always there for you when you need it. Just ask. Ask and you shall receive. And definitely make sure that you take care of yourself first and foremost before, how like they say putting on the mask first on yourself and then whoever else during a flight. Because if you don't take care of yourself, you're not going to be able to help other people anyway. So now more people are going to suffer because of that. And so let's also see this last card. Ooh, it says travel. Let every aspect of this trip unfold in harmony. May divine order arrange and handle every detail. I'll be guided easily and follow the leads as they are shown. This actually makes me feel like here you are, suffering in silence, wanting to travel. Like looking out at this beautiful view and thinking, man, how I wish I could go there. And then there's like a million reasons why you feel like you can't. But yeah, I think this sums it up really well, because this is a great mantra for you, by the way. I'll be guided easily and follow the leads as they are shown. So just trusting, follow the breadcrumbs. Just trusting that, hey, I'm going to take this step and see what happens. And then I'm going to take the next step and see what happens. And just not trying to plan it out for 5-10 years ahead, which, I don't know. I really don't like the fact that, even during the interviews, they usually ask you, oh, what are you planning to do in 5 years? Dude, how do I even know what's going to happen tomorrow? Of course, there's something you would love and would prefer in life, but that's just words, it's all about what are you willing to do for that stuff to happen. And it's not about thinking oh, what is God gonna give me in the next 5 years? And it's also not about thinking that you can control everything. It's always a co-creation with God, right? You take one step forward and the universe takes one step towards you, and so together you co-create something really cool and beautiful and interesting. But you do have to take steps for sure for that to happen. And I guess the main message here is trusting yourself, taking care of yourself, and making sure that you are your interests are also appreciated and understood by other people in your life. And it's not just you helping everybody else and not taking care of yourself. And also not letting this fear of things not working out, not letting it affect you to the point where it paralyzes you. And I think that happens way too often. But it's really there's nothing good about it. There's nothing productive about it. It's just something that keeps you stuck in the same place. And if you can travel, maybe that's exactly what you need to do right now. Maybe you just need to see other places, other people, and get some new ideas, some new fresh outlook on life. Learn something new, look at other cultures and see how you feel afterwards. And I hope you take this to heart, and I hope you are not afraid to share your deepest thoughts and interests and ideas with other people in your life, even if you feel like you might not be supported. There's always someone who will support you, I guarantee you that, and that's what's so awesome about this. But even if that's not enough, you have to be your own biggest supporter. That's what I've been realizing over the last few years of wanting to do stuff that doesn't resonate with almost anyone I know. But I'm very lucky because I do have a couple of people who get it, and that means the world to me. Plus, you guys, when you subscribe, I'm just wow, I actually have supporters. This is so cool. So, see, that's what I'm saying. There's always going to be someone who will be on the same wavelength with you. Just don't forget that. Just remember that you're not alone, and the universe totally has your back. So, okay. I hope this was helpful for you. If you'd like a more personalized reading, please reach out to me via askyoursoul.org. And if you enjoyed this, please subscribe and like this video. I would really, really, really appreciate it. And I hope you have an amazing day or night. And remember to establish boundaries. Okay, thanks for watching. Okay, now we're moving on to this pile number 3. with this gorgeous amethyst angel. I just love these, seriously. I want to get like 20 more. But they add up. Okay, so let's see. I'm gonna read this one last, as usual. Wow, so I am seeing that you've really been through a lot of hardship, through a lot of really difficult situations, especially when it comes to love. And maybe you've had a relationship that was like, you thought this person was the love of your life, and then something really sad happened. I feel like something really bad happened to them, but you ended up blaming yourself for it. And this card also has to do with abortion or loss of a baby, which is just tremendously sad. I feel like whatever the situation was for you, it just kind of made you so sad and so unsure of yourself and of your future that you kind of just became depressed. You just started thinking like, what's the point of it all? But I also feel like you now finally have a chance to build something new. And it's almost like you're being asked to step up and like start this new life, but you're kind of psychologically, I don't know if you're fully ready for that, because you've been through so much that it's almost like hard for you to believe that you're finally over that like horrible situation, over all of that difficulty, and that you're ready to actually move on and finally, like whatever it may be for you, like buy a new house or move in with someone or start a family. So it's almost like you can finally do it, but at this point you're still not fully over what's happened in the past, and it's really hard for you to move on from that. So you're just, and my heart goes out to you, because it sounds like you've been going through a lot, and there's all of these memories of love, and I feel like it's something that you're grieving. I don't know how accurate it is, of course, but it's just my intuition, but I feel like it was almost between life and death for you, quite frankly, and you ended up somehow making it through, which is amazing, but you're still not 100% at a place where you feel like really confident in yourself and you feel like you can start something new and things are gonna work out. Like you just have this fear that's holding you back from moving on 100%. And you're kind of always in this mental conflict between your past and your present. And it's hard to remain in the present when you've been through so much and you just have a hard time letting go of that. And also, I wonder how temptation is related to all of this. Maybe this is about you looking back towards what you had versus looking ahead of you and moving on. And so you're kind of tempted to stay in that place of sadness and despair. And even if it doesn't make any sense, it's not like you can just turn off your emotions one day and just be like, oh, okay, I'm ready to move on. No, it takes a lot of work and a lot of time. You know how some people say that time doesn't heal for shit? I mean, it may be like it numbs you a little bit more, but it doesn't really heal all wounds. I feel like for that to happen, we have a lot of responsibility as well. We have to really think deeply about the situation. We have to really process it, maybe journal. We have to face it and we have to process it, basically, and reflect. And even with that, it's not guaranteed that you just forget about it, of course. It's more than anything about acceptance, accepting the way things are, even if that's not at all how you wanted them to be. And I'm also seeing this one, which says, how are you being called to step up and lead? So I feel like there's something that you might want to be doing, but you're just not there yet completely. It's almost like this next step really depends on you. So if you want to take a lead, if you want to make it happen, it is going to happen. But unless you start working through all of this pain and grief, there is no way for things to start shifting, And okay, I'm actually really curious about this last one. It says clarity. Let me trust my deepest instincts in all ways, especially when matters are unclear. May my own holy intuition always guide the way. I love this card. I feel like it really is about intuition. I feel like we all know inside what we need to be doing and what's good for us and what isn't. But sometimes we just have to go through these crazy messed up events in order to come out on the other side and realize things about ourselves. And unfortunately, most of the time, that's the only thing we can truly learn. But if you're unsure about your future right now and you just feel like it could go either way, I encourage you to be mindful of your own fear about it, and mindful of like what are all the reasons in your mind for things to not work out, and just being really careful about how true, like how objective those are, and how much of it is just your pain talking, and how much of it is just your sadness, your grief, and your past. And I hope you do listen to your intuition as much as possible, and I really, really hope that you remember that you're never alone. You always have help, whether it's physically or spiritually with your angels and the universe and God, whatever you believe in. But it's always available, and I will never stop preaching about the power of prayer. I feel like that's huge and it's totally underrated. But whatever the situation is, I really deeply hope that you will find the strength in your heart and mind to somehow move on and take it one step at a time, and to not let any of your fear and any apprehension stop you from doing that. I'm sending you so much love and light. I really hope this resonated with you, and I hope that this will be encouraging to you and supportive. And I'm just sincerely wishing you all the best. Please feel free to reach out to me if you'd like a personal reading. Other than that, I'm just sending you so much love and light. And again, thank you so much for watching. Have an amazing day or night, and please stay strong and believe that things are going to work out for you. Nothing is forever. Love you all. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.